Today, Friday, 15 Shawwal 1447 after Hijrah, equivalent to 3rd April 2026. In the words of Rolling Sierra Leone, if you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. Now the headlines. CBN staff Mina branch donates 8,000 litres of capacity solar-powered borehole to Kobo community in Lapai. Human rights lawyer warns Nigerians against ending up with only one presidential candidate in 2027 election. Islamic cleric says engaging underprivileged and violent groups is the only visible solution to Nigeria's insecurity challenges. And 5 former inspectors general of police pledged support for the newly appointed inspector general of police. Now the news in full. Staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Mina branch have donated an 8,000-litre capacity solar-powered borehole to the people of Esu Muhammadu Kobo community in Lapai local government area of Niger State. The project was commissioned in the presence of the Emir of Lapai, His Royal Highness Umaru Bago Tafida, the council chairman of Lapai local government area, Abdullahi Umar Ivuti, and members of the benefiting community. The branch controller of the Central Bank of Nigeria Mina branch, Ibrahim Mahmoud, said the project is part of the bank's corporate social responsibility driven by contributions from staff personnel earnings. He urged members of the community to ensure proper maintenance of the facility, noting that access to clean water will help prevent the outbreak of waterborne diseases. Ibrahim Mahmoud added that the CBN has executed several corporate social responsibility projects across the 3 senatorial districts of Niger State. The chairman of Lapai local government area, Abdullahi Umar Ivuti, represented by the council secretary Abubakar Issa Sado, commended the gesture, describing it as timely and impactful. A resident of the community, Mariam Ismail, expressed appreciation, saying the borehole would significantly reduce the hardship faced in accessing clean water. Community elders Dr. Shuaibu Shitu and Mustafa Ilyasu Ahmed also lauded the initiative, describing it as a life-changing one. The 8,000-litre capacity solar-powered borehole is expected to serve about 3,000 residents of Esu Muhammadu Kobo development area in Lapai. A prominent stakeholder from Zone B in Niger State and chairman of Dangwari Motors Mina, Alhaji Yunusa Umar Yakoi Paiko, has called on social media influencers to refrain from making statements that could potentially divide leaders in Niger State. Speaking in an interview with journalists in Mina, Alhaji Yunusa Yakoi Paiko expressed concern over recent comments made by former Chanchaga Council Chairman Aminu Yakubu Ladan targeting Senator Sani Musa 313. Yakoi Paiko urged Ladan to be cautious with his words, emphasizing the need for respect and decorum when commenting on issues related to leaders. Alhaji Umar Yunusa Yakoi Paiko emphasized that the Bagi people are known for respecting their elders, but Aminu Ladan abandoned it at his early age and urged social media influencers to avoid making statements that could bring chaos. The chairman of Dangwari Motors Mina asserted that Senator Sani Musa is one of the best senators in Zone B and the state, given his achievements since 2019, and deserves respect, and the media influencer should learn from other states and in supporting the leaders rather than tearing them down. Yakoi Paiko also praised Governor Umaru Bago's efforts in transforming the state, aligning with his new Niger agenda, adding that the governor is doing a great job and he deserves support. He called on Governor Bago and Senator Sani Musa to ignore divisive voices and work together for the development of the state. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris Malagi says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains committed to modernizing government-owned media and ensuring Nigerians have access to accurate information. Idris Malagi stated this in Abuja at the unveiling of the 75th anniversary logo of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN. He said the federal government is investing in the broadcast sector, including the installation of 50 kilowatts transmitters in Kaduna, Ibadan, Enugu and Gwagwalada to expand FRCN's coverage. Malagi noted that strong media institutions and an informed citizenry are critical to democracy, urging FRCN to sustain its role in promoting national unity and development. African Democratic Congress ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi has insisted that the party will proceed with its planned congresses and national convention despite uncertainties surrounding the Independent National Electoral Commission's INEC's recognition of its leadership. Abdullahi's comments comes following the INEC's decision to remove the names of David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola as the party's national chairman and national secretary from its official portal. The electoral body had further stated that it would not recognize Nafiu Bala Gombe, who is seeking to be declared national chairman through the courts. Abdullahi, while speaking to journalists, stated that the party had already issued INEC the required 21-day notice of its activities and the electoral umpire accepted the notice. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has criticized the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the ongoing crisis in the African Democratic Congress ADC, describing the situation as a betrayal of democratic ideals. Obi, in a statement, said it was ironic that individuals who once positioned themselves as defenders of democracy and human rights during the era of Sani Abacha were now allegedly undermining those same principles. He lamented that those who fought for democracy under the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, now appear to be acting in ways worse than the military regime they opposed, adding that power indeed reveals character. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana and the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, have warned that Nigeria could end up with only one presidential candidate in the 2027 election if the judiciary continues to interfere in political party affairs. They spoke at the 5th Comrade Yinka Odumakin Memorial Lecture held at the Airport Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. The event was attended by the President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, activist and publisher of Sahara Reporters Omoyele Sowore, and Senior Advocate of Nigeria Olumide Fusika, amongst others. Delivering the memorial lecture, Falana said court orders and conflicting judgments were being used to destabilize political parties, warning that this could lead to a situation where only one political party would field a presidential candidate in the upcoming general election. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the installation of over 5,000 surveillance cameras in Plateau State following the recent killings in Jos. Tinubu gave the directive during a town hall meeting with political and traditional leaders in Jos, days after the Palm Sunday attack in Ongwan, Rukuba, which left over 27 people dead. The president acknowledged that no amount of money could compensate victims for their losses, but promised government support. Tinubu also directed security chiefs, including the Inspector General of Police and the Chief of Defense Staff, to arrest those responsible for the attack. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's condolence visit to Plateau State, describing it as a troubled reflection of what he called a growing disconnect between leadership and the plight of ordinary Nigerians. In a statement issued in Abuja by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications, Frank Shuaibu, Atiku expressed deep concern over the president's response to the killings in parts of Plateau, insisting that the visit fell short of the empathy and urgency needed and demanded by the tragedy. The chieftain of the African Democratic Congress highlighted that the events in Plateau once again exposed a disturbing and unacceptable approach to national tragedy. You are listening to Prestige News broadcast on 91.7 FM Mina. In the first segment of the news, you've heard that CBN staff Mina branch donates 8,000 litres capacity solar-powered borehole to Kobo community in Lapai. Human rights lawyer warns Nigerians against ending up with one presidential candidate in 2027 election. And still to come, Islamic cleric says engaging underprivileged and violent groups is the only visible solution to Nigeria's insecurity challenges. And 5 former Inspectors General of Police pledged support for the newly appointed Inspector General of Police. Remember that you can follow us and comment on all our social media handles at Prestigefm91.7mx. You can also listen to us anywhere on radio app, prestigefmradio.org.ng, or Facebook page live, Prestige FM 917MX. The news continues shortly. Do stay tuned.
Number one station. 91.7
Prestige FM. Prestige FM 91.7 MENA, redefining broadcasting in Niger State.
We keep watch on social, political, economic events of the close and faraway localities.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The news continues. Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi has reiterated that engaging underprivileged and violent groups remains the only viable solution to Nigeria's insecurity challenge. In a statement, Gumi said decades of neglect of disadvantaged populations has created deep socioeconomic inequalities, leaving many youths vulnerable to manipulation by external forces seeking to destabilize the country. According to him, the widening gap between the rich and the poor has turned many young people into ready-made foot soldiers in cycles of violence that enable the exploitation of Nigeria's resources. He also criticized the political class for being largely unresponsive, while noting that the intellectual community is preoccupied with survival struggles. The Commissioner of Police Niger State Command CP Adamu Abdullahi Eleman MNIPS has ordered adequate deployment of police personnel and operational assets to provide security coverage at the places of worship, recreational centers, amusement parks, and other public places, including critical infrastructures of public safety and ensuring a peaceful Easter celebration. In a statement issued by the Police Public Relations Officer, Niger State Command SP Wasiu Abiodun, the CP felicitates with the people of Niger State, especially the Christian community, on the occasion of the Easter celebration. He also appreciates residents for their support and urges them to continue to cooperate with the police and other security agencies by providing prompt information to prevent and detect crime. He reiterates that as Christians all over the world commemorate the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Christ, it is only in togetherness the people can fight crime for a safe and peaceful environment. The police commissioner urged members of the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious situation to police for quick intervention. 5 former inspectors general of police have visited the force headquarters in Abuja to pledge support for the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu. The force new media officer Aliu Giwa disclosed this in a post on X, noting that the visit by the former police chiefs was purposeful and underscored the importance of institutional backing. According to him, the former IGPs Aliu Atta, Mike Okiro, Ogbonna Onovo, Suleiman Abba, and Usman Alikali Baba visited the force headquarters to express solidarity with the current leadership. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu has reiterated Nigeria's commitment to operationalizing its cooperation agreements and memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Turkey. She made this known when the Turkish ambassador to Nigeria, Mehmet Poroi, paid her a courtesy visit at her office in Abuja. It will be recalled that at the invitation of Turkish President Recep Erdogan, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu undertook an official visit to Ankara on January 27th this year to strengthen bilateral relations. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to order the permanent forfeiture of 57 properties allegedly linked to a former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami to the federal government. The anti-graft agency, in a motion on notice filed by its legal team led by Jibril Okutepa San and Ekele Ihanacho San, told Justice Joyce Abdulmalik that the respondents failed to place sufficient materials before the court to justify setting aside the interim forfeiture order earlier granted. The motion marked listed Malami, Hajia Bashir Asabe, and Abiru Rama Abubakar Malami amongst the respondents, alongside several companies allegedly linked to the assets. Operatives of the Department of State Services DSS have arrested a 25-year-old woman, Nafisa Usman, over alleged involvement in supplying ammunition to bandits operating in parts of northern Nigeria. Security sources said the suspect was apprehended at a motor park in Kano with 200 rounds of ammunition reportedly transported from Lafia, Nasarawa State, and bound for Kankara in Katsina State. The arrest followed intelligence reports tracking her movements. Authorities believe the consignment was intended for criminal elements operating within the Kankara forest. During interrogation, the suspects allegedly admitted involvement in the illicit trade and provided details of a network facilitating the movement of arms and ammunition across state lines. And Kogi State Governor Ahmed Ododo has approved the appointment of the immediate past chairman of the All Progressives Congress in the state, Abdullahi Bello, as a commissioner designate. The development was contained in a statement issued by the secretary to the Kogi State government, Dr. Folashade Arike Ayoade. According to the statement, the appointment follows the resignation of the commissioner for works, Mohammed Yusuf. To end the news, here's a recap of the main items. CBN staff Mina branch donates 8,000 litres capacity solar-powered borehole to Kobo community in Lapai. Human rights lawyer warns Nigerians against ending up with one presidential candidate in 2027 election. Islamic cleric says engaging underprivileged and violent groups is the only visible solution to Nigeria's insecurity challenges. And 5 former Inspectors General of Police pledged support for the newly appointed Inspector General of Police. That ends the news. A popular African proverb says, "The fools seek favor and self-interest in bowls of lies and self-ego, but the wise builds a nest for everyone to take solace." On behalf of the news editor, Abayomi Onifade, the newsroom crew, the duty continuity announcer, Hussein Sheu Kagara, I'm Juliana Ayasi. Thank you so much for being with us and do have a productive day.
Number one station.
Prestige FM.